So complete screen. What I wanted to show you is, if we wanted whatever we wanted to test, at least we should have basic knowledge of what that item or product or that what we need to work with. So how we at least we have to know what basic we need. So everything is client and service, right? In software also, there are two things. Like we are the client who are using actual software and who is providing the software as service providers. For example, now we are using laptop, so that is the client. So we are we are the client, and that is providing the service. Now we all are connecting through this meeting, right? The go to meeting, so that is one software. So they are providing it, and that is running on our laptop. So in other terms, our laptop is also providing us the service. Simple, for naming wise, for it to be easy, you can see services running in the task manager. Just a naming to understand and to remember. So everything will be like client and server. And coming to software, there are two types. One is, a person have a requirement. He goes to a company and they tell them like what he requires. So they build it and give it to him. So those are like services companies, like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, and all. The other thing is, these are softwares, service softwares, and the other one is, uh, one person identify the problem and he build the software and he sell it to the people. So there, those are like Oracle or Microsoft. They create operating system, they create databases, they sell it to the people. The other way is, those are product software, and the other one is services. They take all the products and build one application. So those are services. Now, uh, in between the client and server, there will be one person who is like a quality checker. Whether he will be there, he will understand what client was asking, what service providers are doing it. So from there, the person is like QA analyst or QA analysis person. So whether the expected output is coming or not, or they are working appropriately, what client requires. Now, that is called in our software is like software testing part. So now in this complete tutorial, like what we are going to explain is what is from where the performance testing start, how we are going to do it, what are the outcomes, and finally what will be the result. So delivery, what we are going to deliver to the client. So just with these things, I will try to explain like what we are going to do. So the first one is requirement gathering. So we take as a service company for as of now. So one person comes and ask. He will have a group of movie theaters. For example, he has 10 theaters. So he every day he can't go to all the 10 theater at different location and see. So he will come to a service company and ask like, I need one application such that I have to see complete dashboard, like how which movies are playing and how many tickets are being sold. People should easily book the ticket. Something requirement. The defining will happen and design will happen. So these are like basics. If all are into IT, very basics like. So application architects and UI UX designers. So everything, every person will come and create that application. So they will define like whether it can be mobile app, a web app, or how a POS, point of sale device or something. Next, programmers will develop it, and the other team will test it. What exactly is it working or not as per client requirement. So requirement will be shared to two people. So then they will test it. If it is working fine, then they will deploy the code into the client machine. They can deploy in client machine or client can use that. I think people, okay. Sorry, I think at the beginning. Just we are explaining the software development life cycle here. So where from end to end, like from requirement to till the output, the software which was working, how we get it. So now we are into the testing uh, phase. So person, they have created it. Now we need to test it. So when testing, there are two types of testing. The basic differences. One is functional testing. So functional testing means if I click on this button, what would happen? So okay, it is decreasing it or increasing something as per functionality. But if I do it, how fast it is reacting? So that comes under non-functional testing. Means here we can't, we will be measuring it different ways. So if in functional, we will see like, okay, if I click it, I am getting the output, the options. Okay, but how fast I am able to do it? So that would will be non-functional. And also the other thing is, now I have this document. If I if this Google Slide document is my own, so I have created it. So this is the URL. If I share this URL to anyone, or if any other person tries to copy and open it on their machine, he should not be able to open this link. So it is like security. So security testing. So functionally wise, if I open this slide, it should open for me, but it should not open for other person. So it comes under security or security testing. So there are other non-functional testing also. So majorly into two. So functional and non-functional. Under non-functional, we are discussing like the current performance testing. So performance testing is like uh, it checks the responsiveness of the application that we created. It can be like mobile, web, desktop applications. So how fast the application is able to load. So web application in the browser, how fast it is able to load. In mobile, how fast we are getting the response. The rendering time, everything will be different depending on the application also. So I'm opening Chrome. If I open in Safari, it might get some fast. In Firefox, it would be somewhat fast. So data will be same, but rendering time will be different. Now, how we are going to do it? Now, for even testing is also a requirement. And we need basic so everything will be like, so from where we are going to do it. So before this development, right, I want to show like how application were divided. So there are monolithic and entire application. The thing is, uh, any application takes the input, process it, and shows the output. So simple like a normal, so basic, any application will be working on. So for example, if I take a media player, there will be, for a media player, the input will be the mp4 file, for example, the video audio file, and VLC will be the software, and the output is your console, the application itself, where we see the screen. So all the three are on the same machine. So and all are closely coupled. So within the same machine, everything will be running. So coming to YouTube, if we take the presentation layer, that what we see is on the browser. If we request anything, if I want to see one particular video, the request go to one server, it process it and go in. If it find it, it go to that particular database, and I will get the video playing on my machine. So like architecture will be different. So I wanted to give like basic idea. Now, if we understand how the application is working, then we will get how we can test the application. So that is like in detail, we will go like how the performance testing on the browser we will be doing, on application or on the database, or complete end to end. So here how the performance will be there is, I requested for a particular video, it has to go till the end and I have to get it. So there are other video sharing platforms, but YouTube remains the majorly in India. We will be using it because of the responsiveness. So there will no, if any lag is there, they try to fix it. If all people are using at a time, if any video is getting released, but the site doesn't go down. If you take IRCTC in India, every time it goes down. So that handling, how they will be able to manage all those. So people before that actual time, they will be doing performance testing, They will identify how many users it can handle, and they will fix it. And on that particular time, they will release the application with proper configurations. So then application won't go down. Now that is the requirement. Like for example, like uh, big billion day, this many people will be coming. So we will test what if those many people come into the application and book anything. If it can withstand, then we say like application is able to handle the users. Then it's like the success, like okay, application is working. Functional means if any person is able to buy that product, then that is the functional test is working. Performance wise, if application doesn't go down and is working with many users, in there it is a pass case, so it is working as properly. So what we will be discussing is, uh, now we have software development lifecycle. uh, what requirement we are getting to create a software. So from there, how we can fix it and all. Similarly, we have performance testing life cycle. Means now the load test, right? If I click, if one user is using the application, it works fine. If more than 10 users or 100 users, the response will be less because the backend operation will be happening. If it is 1,000 users, again it will break. Now we have to define like how many users need to be tested. Now I am using Google Slides. There are 1,000 members if using Google Slides, and if it goes down, then there is a performance issue on this Google Slide application. So we wanted to know that requirement. Okay, Google want to know how many people can access this Google Slide. So accordingly, we will be defining our test. So they will get a high level insight at what time this application is going down, how many people are accessing the application, and what duration they are accessing. uh, any app, it will be different. So major example we say big billion day, that comes once in a year, for example, for Flipkart. But if you want to take a credit card billing or the electricity billing, everyone will pay at the end of the month. So every month it will be happening. If you take book my show, every week Friday, there will be surge in users. So that requirement, and we need to define like, okay, how many users are accessing it, and at what duration are accessing it, and all. And next, one application can have 1,000 functionalities, but performance testing wise, we will not test all functionality. Only business critical scenarios we will be testing. If search is not working in Flipkart, okay, user might be coming after some time. If payment itself he has added to the cart and is not able to pay, then the application itself is having a problem. So the if payment is not happening, the income is not generated for the application. If search is not working, okay, it doesn't generate have much difference on their income, but it will somehow it have an impact. That if the product is not such, you'll go to other e-commerce site. So that is also important, but payment is of high priority. So we will identify which is of high priority. Then we will create a script. So difference between functional and non-functional explain, right? In functional, only one person will be doing that activity. Here in performance, the same activity has to be repeated 1,000 times. So if it is 10 times, what we can do is, if the company is having 5 employees, so if one user is accessing the application, there will be a load of one user. So if 5 users, all people open the browser and launch the application, Flipkart example, there will be load of 5. But they wanted to test with 10 users. So what they can do is, each person will open 2 browsers and then launch the application. In such way, there is a load of 10. Okay, fine. But what if the number is 50, 100, and so on? So in performance testing, we will capture, or we will be creating one script, one program, what manually a person does. We will take that program and give it to a one particular tool, so that if we configure there, I wanted to run this one person, what he does. So that is a script. We call it a virtual user script, and we configure and run it. I want 1,000 users. Accordingly, it will create the same copy of the script 100 times and run it. And so it depends on tools. 100 times the script might run, or 100 copies it might run, so such that there will be a load on the server with 100 users. So just okay. The next thing is, so we need to create those scripts. We will be running those scripts, and we will be designing it how we are going to do. uh, so those all comes under these things that complete how many users we have to take, what business scenario we have to find, and yeah, create the scripts. We also see that the test design, if how all 1,000 users we wanted to run, we wanted to run all at once. We have to so every user will be running at with an interval of time. Not all users comes at one time, right? Someone will come at different point of time, so that all we need to do it. And the next one is, in performance testing also we have types of testings. The first one is baseline. So no one knows how much time we are getting. For example, if I click on flipkart.com, it's like I'm getting the whole page, but it will take 5 seconds. So that is the performance of that application. But for me, it is 5 seconds. If there are 100 users, it will take for me 8 seconds. So in that way, in the at that time, the response time is 8 seconds. So we need to baseline like, what if the 100 users are there? It takes 8 seconds. What if 1,000 users? It might take 15 seconds. So that baseline we need to do. So based on the load, we will get some numbers. The after baseline, that is a load test. So load test means there here we have client giving us the requirement, right? We here also will take the requirement from them. They say every month this many users will be coming. They say 5,000 users, with 5,000 user load we will test it. The next one is uh, endurance test. So how long they wanted to test it. So one user log in, he log out, then memory will be clear. If the user is running for long time, if memory is not released, so internal technically we will see what happens if all users are running for long duration. So this scenario comes in OTT platform. If movie is released, so all other application will be used only for 10-15 minutes. They come, they purchase, and they leave, log out the application. But in Amazon, Netflix, or YouTube, if anything is coming, that needs to be run for 2 hour 3 hour duration, so all people will be on the server for that long time. So data will be shared across all memory, how it is working. So such type of test we need to do, so that those are endurance test. The other one is stress test. We know that this application can handle 1,000 users, but after changing the configuration to more RAM and more CPU, we wanted to know how long it can handle the users. So we know it 1,000. Then we increase 10%, so 1,100. Then another 100, 1,200, 1,300. At 1,300, we'll get to know the application went down. So we'll give like a warning message. So for 1,000 users, it is working fine. But if it is 1,400 users, if it is reaching 13 to 1,400 users, application won't work fine. So those types of testing. So these are types of performance testing. So those all we will be discussing. And the major one is like creation of the script. That is where some coding is involved. Not much. Everything will be created, but we need to modify it. After that, so this is all like testing part. We get
Sir,
the requirement. Yeah, sorry. You
sir,
can.
one question I have. For the
Yeah.
scripts, what we will be using? Virtual user generator or something?
So this one depends on the tool. So here in the LoadRunner, right? So completely it is LoadRunner. In LoadRunner, we will use virtual user generator.
Okay. And
It's
which
happening.
load runner we will be using, sir? Micro Focus or HP?
Microsoft's 12 version.
Micro Focus load
12.
runner, right?
LoadRunner 12.
Okay. And
Latest version.
for scripting, we will be using virtual user
Vusion.
generator.
Yeah, Vusion.
And those scripts will be written in C functions.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
So that part will be coming. Now here for any tool, um, Pawan was saying, right? Once we need to create the script. So for any part, that is like one script creation. The next one is we will be configuring the scenarios. So those will be the controller. So the controller, in the word, the meaning itself, it will control like how the script has to run the scenario. So they have to how many users the first one. So each user has to start that within 1 minute or 2 minutes and all. And the last one is analyzer. Now we are testing it, right? We get the response. So for the page to load, I told like 5 seconds. For the next page, it will take 6 seconds. So each page, how much time is taking? We need to analyze those. So analyzer. First one is script generator. The second one is controller, and the third one is analyzer. So for any tool, these three will be the same. Jmeter is an open source tool, right? Even there also we will have a script creator. The same in the script we can give the configuration. So there are like components, they call it as components, here we call as individuals. Completely micro focus load runner, but there are like three application within it. So those three parts we will be discussing in detail. Now functionality side, if we give okay, for one functionality, username and password, I want to log into an application. I will provide username, password, and click on login. Okay, that is functionality. If it is proper credentials, I will log in. If not, I will report it to the developer. They will fix it. Coming to performance testing, here also we are finding out some issues. So I'm able to log in, but it is taking 1 minute. So this is a performance issue. It should not take more than 5 seconds or 10 seconds as per client requirement. We call it service level agreement between client and us who are testing. So what happens? So this is a bug. So we will tell them they need to fix it. So in detail, when a developer, okay, when a functional tester is testing anything, he will provide like what environment he's using, which URL, which username, which password he's giving. But even we also have to give basic details like with how many users I am testing. If the test is for 1 hour, you will be able to see the test errors at 45 minutes, 45th minute. You are facing some error. So you need to monitor the applications also, application log. So those will be like Dynatrace. So these are like application program performance monitoring, APMs. We have Dynatrace, AppDynamics, um, CAYD. So basic, majorly AppDynamics and Dynatrace will be using. So these are like these software will be installed on the application server. So we will get logs of the application how it is functioning. So when we test it, we will see application is not responding properly. So at that duration, we will log into the monitoring application and see what might be causing the issue, and we will report to the developers. So the first one is all like performance testing. The from here what we do like the monitoring and all, this is like performance engineering. So we will be providing all these details. So what might be, so the database in this architecture or basic architecture I'm showing, like from application to database, there might be in middle few more applications, microservice or bus notifications, servers running, message queues, whatever. So we will get an in-depth analysis like where the time is getting spent. So we will tell to them, report to them. So accordingly they will fix it. So either they increase the queue size, RAM memory, or configuration on that particular one, and they will fix it. So in that way we are trying to identify any performance issues were there, and monitor the application and provide the insight. So that is from complete requirement, from starting performance requirement to our outcome. So that will be the deliverables. So only performance testing is still here. So our deliverables will be our analysis report. So which page is taking more time, which functionality, which page rendering time is taking more. So those details. After that, we will analyze and give our insight. If we have a coding knowledge and application knowledge, DB performance tuning or anything, we can also go till there. But from our side, at least we need to have a server architecture. So in that way,
And
we will
sir,
do.
are we seeing the API performance testing also?
So I will yeah, API will also be there. So API, not like it's nothing like external. I will explain you like how API will be there.
Okay, sir.
So
Can
I
we
will
see
show you.
them like with multiple test data with multiple scenarios? How to test single
Yeah,
API?
yeah, we have one application that is like payment application, just user creation and doing it. So we will have demo on that one. So just I wanted to show you like this API, so network. Okay, not on this tab, at least F12. Now, okay, to clearly basic, the last point I want to show. So I am a client. So I am a user or client, customer, something. Now I wanted to open Flipkart.com. So nothing is there. If I wanted to load this one, back and these many calls were going hitting the server. So did it load completely? Yeah, it loaded. Now this is the actual request. This is the IP address of the Flipkart server. Now, when I requested this one, I'm asking to get this, get the values. I got all this data. It didn't load. The plain script on this one, this is just rendering for your understanding. So whatever all missing, right? These are the images. On this page, these are the images, but at the end, I'm seeing everything completely here. So for me, this to load this page, these many requests were going, 205 request. So there is a one user load for now on Flipkart. So if in this meeting all 5 people, 10 people were there, suppose 10 people are accessing the server, then it is like 10 user load. So what we are doing is, this is one API. Explicitly, I will explain like creating one API script. So this is one API call. So I'm getting this output. Now how it will be, how we are doing is virtual user generator, right? In LoadRunner, we can copy all this one. We can save all this as HR content, HTML RK content, and directly open it. So the script will be created. The script
But sir,
now if you
how
have,
we can pass the test data, sir, like in JSON format
ah,
with multiple scenarios?
so that one in the further class we will explain. Just I wanted to show you one user
Okay,
loading
sir.
one page. So
Okay.
this with 215 request, one script will be created through virtual user generator. So I copy that script and place it
Yeah,
in
I
the
have a
control.
one question.
Okay.
So we should keep all these PNGs and CSS APIs as well, or we should only keep XHR APIs
Uh, so that one,
in the in our script. Yeah.
yeah, Yeah, it will be in detail, like if you go into class, hands-on onto the application. These are like asynchronous code. If you see, I have only called flipkart.com. Why all these PNGs have come? So the reason is this is the home page. In this page, they are calling number of other calls. This mobile site, images, PNGs, control of PNG. So there is an icon, right? F icon.
Yeah, so it's need to include like all these PNGs in our
Huh.
script or not?
In the script, we will include only flipkart.com. But
Okay,
the Flipkart income will in turn call other links. So
got
that
it,
one
got it.
script we will be checking like, how it will be working. These are asynchronous calls, so it will be calling. We will not call all these. These are like extras. So if you have basic idea, uh, they will be like extra. But
Okay, sir.
we
Thank you.
need, yeah, you got it right. We, only Flipkart
Yes,
will
sir.
add the script. We will add only one request, but the tool itself will be trying to extract all this. It can take all of this as one extra. So, there is an option extras. So all these are like extra files while opening Flipkart. So in that way we can consider. So this all are into scripting. Just I want to show like, okay, this one script having this many requests, the controller will take that request and will configure like 10 or 100 users. It will run it and give the response time, average, max, minimum, max, average, max, and 90 percentile based on our configuration, 90-95 percentile. And graphs. At what point we are facing error code. Uh,
Harish, sorry to interrupt. Could you
yeah.
tell me why you are calling these are the asynchronous requests? That
So
PNG, JPG, whatever it may be, how you are going to come ensure that these are the asynchronous requests?
yeah, the thing is, okay, I call these values, right. The second time we don't know which request comes first. We might not get all this in sequence. If you see previously, whole page is loaded, this icon loaded at last. Sometimes we get this image get loaded first, and other get loaded at the uh, different times.
But these are the embedded resource, right? Why you are calling as
And
a asynchronous?
so
Because
synchronous,
asynchronous is something different, right?
so okay, so asynchronous means like still
Means
it
you are
wait.
just stating. Yeah, true.
Yes, sorry. Hello.
Please go ahead.
No, asynchronous call and synchronous call difference, right? You're asking. So how you're getting
Yeah,
it
yeah,
over?
yeah. Right.
So synchronous calls is one after the other till it waits. If you see here in the timeline, all are getting started at one point. So in this timeline, we will be seeing it. So all get started at one point, and they might which output get loaded. That one will be seen. In synchronous, only one after the other we will be seeing it.
Yeah, that's true. But some of the embedded resource, what exactly you are trying to say that PNG or JPG, whatever the picture files are there that are comes on the store on a browser, right? If it is static, then it is going to store in the browser. If it is
Okay.
dynamic, then it is coming from the server itself every time.
So that we have here disable caching. So in performance testing, we will have an option. So wherever we wanted to have fresh load, so we will disable the cache. Means there is option like a new user. So whenever we wanted to give a new user, so every time they get loaded. So according to it will load. So which images from which server they're loading. So accordingly they will load. If we disable
And
cache, it will be
yeah,
everything.
I
Yeah.
got it. And previously you have told that some baseline test or some, that time I missed something. Suppose you are getting a requirement and suppose you are going to get the 100 user load test. Then in that case, What will your baseline configuration on that?
Sorry, once again. If
Suppose your
miss, I have done baseline first. Hello,
can you hear me?
hello. Now
Yeah,
I'm able to.
yeah. Just get some idea about this. Suppose you are going to get a load test, but before that you don't have any data to make it to be. For like
Yes.
your SLA or something it may be at that time you are going to proceed for the baseline test, then how you are going to proceed or that I'm just I want to curious to know about that.
Okay. The first thing is uh, so anything like threads. Though the software runs it, it completely again depend on the hardware. So now I can if I we will have some memory configuration, right? If anything for you have task manager. So here we will have configure our performance. So how much this 8 GB memory can handle? For example, what I will do is I will be trying to run with 150 users or 10 users based on the application flow and size. So I will see. So completely, I don't have any idea. I will run with 10 users and I will see my stats. So how CPU and memory are working fine. Then I will be checking and I will see like how much users it can handle, and the baseline I will be running with those many users. That is the first one. The second one is so I'm telling how many users it can handle. But the second one is, even though after handling those many users, I have to get proper response. So I explained you like functional testing will have, or if I give proper credentials, I will get the dashboard. I will see my profile page and everything. Coming to here, the value is 200. Either I will be providing wrong credentials, but it has to immediately tell me your credentials were wrong. So I will get messages something wrong credential, but I will get status code as 200. So how fast I'm getting? If my credentials are correct, I will wait for at least 1 minute if it is important. Even though it is fail, why I need to wait for 1 minute, for example. So these two things I need to get it in the baseline. How many users it can handle, and whether it is meeting our SLA. So the time. So the time here we will be select okay. At what time? I mean, so this is not like complete. They will be in detail if you wanted to find, but in our response times you will get complete the last one. Okay, this page to load the to get the response. What we are seeing is different. These are for rendering time. It is different. This is only the first byte we send it as a request and the response we get. So here is the request and here is the response. So when we started it and when we got this response. So these are the two things in the baseline. So it's like any other questions like this is just like means what our complete LoadRunner with real-time project like what we are going to explain. So basic documentation also we need to do. So we explain like deliverables, right? What we are going to provide outcome or insight. Before testing the requirement, how the requirement document will be planned there, and how we are planning it, how they are planning the test. So before testing, not every application can be done performance testing. So we need to check feasibility, whether we can test it or not. Then next we will be using tools. Then accordingly we will be doing it. Not everything. LoadRunner can't test everything. So there are point of sale missions. So we can't run a point of sale missions on those. So that's the reason we need to understand the architecture, and on the architecture where we can able to keep the load, we will be doing it. So any other questions like in this complete flow? So
Yeah, Harish,
mm,
just a moment. Suppose you are using right now your HTTP protocol, right?
I'm using HTTP protocol. Yeah.
Yeah. In HTTP protocol, how that you are sending the request to the server?
Is how I am
In
sending it.
which, yeah,
In which in tool
in
you're asking?
no, no doubt you are recording that request and you are sending that request. But how that
Okay.
HTTP protocol works behind that, I want to know about that.
Means what steps it is going or how?
It is not sending the request through browser, right?
Okay. In the tool you're asking
Then
how it is getting
yeah,
generated.
yeah. Suppose you are recording the scripts through browser and server. What the
Okay.
communication is going to happen through LoadRunner, we are recording the request and response. But
Yes.
when you are going to send the request through your tools, that time
Mhm.
browser is not coming to the picture. Then how you are sending that request? No doubt
So
through LoadRunner you are sending. Then how that communication is going to happen?
the browser doesn't open, but
Right.
internally LoadRunner will be taking up this request and running it. So it will create one client. The program itself, the tool itself will create an instance of the browser. We don't see like complete browser, but it will be like those tools only. There is an option to enable the browser. So when we have the settings and try to enable it, we will see those many browser instances here. So I have opened one. So in the load runner, internally it will open those many browsers. If we wanted to see, we can enable that real browser. So those many instances will be created here. If 100 will be created. So backend, everything will be same. The thing is, I'm explaining, I explain the client, right? The same protocol, everything will be, the program wise will be same. The layer above it, what we are seeing is this application. So the protocol, everything will be same. Google company has created Chrome. The same layer they have take and they added some other advanced features into that what they have. Apple will create Safari and the other people create Mozilla. In same way, the basic one they will take it and internally it's a tool capability, so it will able to run it.
Yeah, yeah, good. And suppose you are using a load generator that particular timing by using you're pushing the loads, okay?
Okay.
And in that particular system, if browser is not installed, our script will send that request, or is it mandatory to install the browser?
That have, if browser is there, then only it will work. So okay, in real time, some of the application will be working only on Chrome. So there is a Chromium browser on in the tool. So this all protocols, right? So major will go with web and API. If possible, on that application, I will be trying to show you those tool. So we need to install. So while recording, we see like those tools. There will be an option. So how you want it to record? It is in IE or Chrome. We can add other browsers and configure with the load runner. Then when we record, we will have that option to record in that browser. So while replaying also, it will invoke those browser instances.
Okay, Harish, thank you.
Hmm. So if anyone others have any question, so our like complete, I think I have explained like in this session what we will be explaining means first we go with the application basics of application or what it is doing or how it is working. Like I have shown you like this request, right? And then how we create the script. And then after creating the script we have to have a plan. So how many users need to run the script, so only how many scripts we need to create, so that all comes under planning. So the same thing I have shown you, right? This cycle, so instead of development cycle it will be like a testing cycle. So first we will plan like what scenarios are required, at what duration we can work. Within 1 month we can complete the work, or how with how many people we can complete it. So create the script, so build, run our scripts, and then analyze our results. So after analyzing in detail analysis, we will do it on okay. We will do it in detail analysis on the application. The first analysis we are doing it from the data we have. We are running the test. We will have the data. We will analyze it. The second analysis is we go log into the application system and see how the application is working during the test. So everything will be like these details. So I think they might have shared this one. So if not, so I think you are all are then in the WhatsApp group. So any questions related to performance testing or now what we have discussed or anything, I can answer there. So any other thing you can reach out to Anita in that group and or Kumar sir. Okay. Now load test is like we take one scenario. They give us a particular user load. Okay, this application has to handle 100 users, and we have particular scenario. Means it will run for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. The complete I purchase an item and I leave it. So one user log in and he log out. Now there will be a memory footprint, for example, that much memory is used by that one user. If 100 users, 100 into 1 MB, 100 MB is used. Okay, fine. For endurance test, what is if any user comes into application and he will be using the application for long time, whether it can handle for 5 hours or 10 hours. So if after 10 hours, if the application is down or not, we will be able to check it. So endurance itself in the name is how long it can withstand the application. This is majorly to find the memory issues or anything, if it is internally the program is having any issue. So the example I have given, right, OTT. So those data will be transferred. So application can be able to handle that network for that long duration or so, something like that. Okay. So, so any other queries or tomorrow like timings all will update in the group. So if nothing, we can drop off.
What are the
Even is good,
prerequisites
right?
needed for this course?
Sorry. Sorry. The
What are the
basic miss prerequisite is miss we will go with complete basics. Prerequisite is like learn basics of C programming language.
okay? Will we
Basics is
go
enough.
through this LoadRunner script creation also in this course or just a live project?
Like so, the creation also will be there in the try project.
Okay.
So the basics you need to learn is uh, uh, till functions. C functions. So till there it is enough. So variables, if else conditions, and then functions. These three are major. The other thing you will get to understand from the tool itself. So how to create a variable, assign it values, if else conditions, controls, and the last one is function, how functions are working. With this, these all enough to create a script. First, we need to understand the script. In this performance testing, if any other tool, the thing is, you have seen the network tab, right? So majorly we go with web application testing. Everything gets these all requests will be captured in a script. So everything a script will be created automatically. But we need to understand what that particular function is, the statement. That is the major one. So others all will be good.
Okay.
So I will explain in the session itself. But if you have basics, it will be fast.
Yes, sir. Which application will be used for this
Web
course?
web application. So internally it is hosted. So that web application, on that only we will be testing. It is like a valid application. So we log in, add money or something like that, and then we log out. So how fast we
Is
are
it
able to see the
e-commerce
complete.
type?
Sorry,
Is it e-commerce type application?
something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I have shown you the application architecture, right? We will be testing different type of application. Means based on the requirement. Now POS is there. It's like we need to replicate that. So the browser I explained, right? So those many browsers we need to open if it is web application. For mobile, those many mobiles we can't open, right? So there are like emulators. So in one system only we will open emulators like 4 or 5 machines and then test it. So those are like based on the application we'll be doing. In this session completely we will discuss like web application and APIs. So APIs also go through the web, right? So that's the reason. Karthik, Anup. So no other. So I hope like you understand like what I was explaining today, and in the further class what will go. I'll try to explain like in complete in basics like what our application does, how application is created, what all are available and all. So it will be easy. And if you're given any other application, you will be able to try to understand and do it. So in that way, we will try to keep a session. Yeah, in the group, I will be sharing it. So at the end of the session, I will be sharing. So it will take around 4 or 5 sessions. At the end, I will be sharing it.
Okay. One doubt here. Is this just a project, live project course, or it's a complete performance testing, creating a script, everything, which using a load runner course?
The second one, the live project means we will be creating the script, we will be running it, and we will be analyzing it.
Okay.
So our live project means so that is our work. So the project creation, everything is developers or other people will be doing. So they have created and then hosted it. We will be running our own work. So that will be our live project.
Okay. We are taking one application and we are doing end-to-end script creation and we are analyzing the result. All those things we are doing here.
Yes, running the load test and then analyzing it. How we
Because they
can.
mentioned as the prerequisite is as you should know aware of the load runner. So just I asked.
Load runner basics is enough.
Okay.
Basics of that one they will be changing it. So not completely in load runner. for prerequisite is here is C language. For Jmeter, that is also performance testing tool. There you need a little bit of Java till the functions even there also, because I will explain like further like how it will be you'll be
Okay.
fine, right? So I will be stopping the recording.